All right, so I figured we'd do a quick vlog, live stream, if you will. We can talk about Google Stadia a little bit. We can talk about a projectors. I've been doing a bunch of projectors lately, and I'm trying to get into to bring you guys different type of affordable projectors along with the entry level projectors, and I've been trying to do that a little bit. Been also trying to get some Google Stadia stuff for you guys. Um, there's a really great website called Stadia. What the hell was the name of that? I can't remember the name of the damn website now. Oh yeah, Stadia Source. There's a this website called a Stadia Source, and this website Stadia Source, it has all the best information regarding Google Stadia, what's coming in the future, stuff like that. It's like the best possible place for you to find out what's going on next with the Google Stadia. I'm also doing, as you have seen, bunch of projectors, but they're mainly like affordable projectors. It's not like a high-end projectors, just like affordable projectors. Been doing a lot of that. I got another projector tomorrow that it's like within a mid-range cinema type of quality, and it's only 250 bucks by this company called a bow making bow maker bow maker. This company called a bow maker. They're stationed in Chicago. It's a pretty good company, in my opinion. I think their first entry level projector called Parrot One, it's supposed to be like the best because it has like 8,000 to 1 contrast ratio. It has a pretty good 6,000 lumens light brightness on there. So I'm gonna do the unboxing of that tomorrow. I'll talk about that tomorrow. And so if you guys have any questions, go ahead, ask. Uh, Hopefully you guys can see me here. Just remember, I'm using my tablet. I'm using my iPad, so I don't know how good this is gonna work, but let's see. I wasn't even planning on doing this live vlog, but I figured I'd do it really quick. I hope the internet's good because I'm out of town. I'm not in town. I'm actually somewhere else. As you can see, it's cold where I'm at. It's very cold. I cannot tell you where I'm at. You know, where I travel, where I go. I keep that private. But I'm somewhere north where it's cold. Okay, and behind me there's a bunch of books. Okay, that's as much as I'm gonna tell you. Hey, what's up, Expert Joey? How you doing, man? What's going on? What's happening? Freaking cold, man. Remind me not to travel north. Okay, it's freaking cold. I gotta get back to Florida again. I gotta get back to Florida tomorrow, uh, in the afternoon, around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I gotta get back. So how you doing, Joey, man? What's happening? What's new? I hope I hope you will give Google Stadia a try. I know that you are still on the fence about Google Stadia, but I think you should give Google Stadia a try. At least, if I had a code, listen, man, if I had a free code, I would have given you the free code or a buddy pass. I would give you a buddy pass, but I don't have a buddy pass with me. Google, I'm surprised that Google never sent me any buddy pass. They never sent me any codes to give to you guys. I would love to give you guys the code so you can, yeah. If I had codes, I would give it to you, brother. You know, I'm surprised that Google didn't give me anything. after everything I've done for them, you think by now they would maybe give me some buddy passes or maybe some codes for you guys to try out, because I want you to try it out. I want you guys to check it out. Oh, and one more thing, before I left this afternoon, when I was making those videos, uh, that white cloth, that white sheet, white cloth, I wouldn't use it for projector. I wouldn't use it for the projector because it's just nothing to me personally can replace a wall, a really good painted with a good grade uh, paint on the wall. Nothing can change that. If you got a really good grade paint, and if you paint it on the wall, I'm telling you, you will have much better results on your wall with a projector than on this fabric that they're using. I don't know what it's like, 100% cotton, whatever the hell that they're using. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a cotton, whatever it is that they're using, but it's not good, man. It really it subdues the quality of what the projector can do. So the plain wall with a really good paint, it's you. That's the best, in my opinion, for the projector. Yeah, I agree with you, expert Joey. Definitely, it's going to take a while for Google Stadia to evolve. It's going to take time for Google Stadia to get to where it needs to be. But I think eventually, by the end of this year, they're going to definitely show to everybody that they can coexist with the consoles and they can coexist with the other gaming platforms. It's just Google, it's the new gaming platform. Google has never done this. This is like a fresh new thing for Google. They have never done anything quite like this in terms of gaming. This is like their first time jumping into the gaming. And a lot of people ask me, what is it so appealing to me about Stadia? And I always tell people what's appealing to me about Stadia is the fact that I don't have to wait for any downloads. I don't have to wait for any updates. I don't have to log in to Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, to this, to that, to that. I don't have to log into anywhere. I don't have to wait for any firmware updates. Everything, it's press of a button, very easy, very convenient. Take it with you, play it on your tablet, play it even on this AirPod that I have. I can play it if I want to. So it's really the convenient way that we like to play. Now, granted, internet is the one factor that we all have to accept. When it comes to the Google Stadia, the internet, it's always going to be that one factor. But hey, we live in a day and age where internet has advanced. Um, Majority of metropolitan areas, majority of cities, they have pretty good internet, and they got reasonable prices for people to sign up and have a pretty good internet speed for, like, let's say $67 a month. You can get a 200 up, 200 down, 40 up, or 300 down, 40 up. So they do have different price points that you can use and enjoy Google Stadia. You don't need some ridiculous $300 a month internet speed, like 1 gigabit, 2 gigabit, 3 gigabit. That's ridiculous. That's usually for the servers. That's usually for the businesses that they have those 3 gigabits and up speeds. But I would not bother, even with 150 down and 20 up, you still can use Google Stadia with 4K and HDR. So internet, it's something that obviously you are going to need. Regardless, you're going to need that for anything. Even for me doing this live stream, I need to have internet. Even for me watching Netflix, I need internet, or doing conference call with somebody, I need internet. So internet, it's something that's pretty much evolving, and it's going to evolve better and better. Once the 5G starts rolling out pretty soon, then I think pretty much that's it. You don't even have to worry about anything. You can take your Google Stadia anywhere you go. And I think my predictions are right. 2031, there's no question in my mind. By 2031, you definitely going to have a all cloud gaming services. They're going to come part of your televisions, your devices. Everything will be cloud gaming, including PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and of course Google, Amazon, etc., Steam. It's all going to be there, in my opinion. Because this is only going to evolve. This is something that's going to evolve. You can't stop this technology. What's up, the elite? How you doing? I know, man. If I wasn't so busy, dude, I would definitely do it. But I'm so busy, dude. People need to understand YouTube is not my main thing. I do other things. I do other stuff, but I do keep my life private. I don't tell people where I go, what I do. That's no one's business, unless you're dating me, unless, we're being partners, it's a different story. But I don't like publicly talk about my life, but YouTube is not my main gig, and people need to understand that for me to make those videos, when I get home, dude, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, when I travel, when I come back, you were totally exhausted, and then people want me to make these videos, people want me to do these tests. Like when I come back today, when I come back tomorrow, which will be today, I have to do unboxing of a couple of projectors, then I have to do tests on them, and then I try to squeeze in maybe a live stream within that time frame. So for me, it takes time to do all that. It's time consuming, man. I don't think people understand. People who never jump into YouTube, I mean, doing a YouTube, I don't know how these people do it, man. When they do a YouTube full time, that has to be the enormous pressure for you to be pumping out the videos, let's say 5 videos a week. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of stuff you have to put into. However, some people, obviously, they have video editors. They have people who work for them, who help them out. So they got the crew of people, like 7 or 8 people that do all the work. Like if you look at Linus Tech Tip, he's got a bunch of people. He's got a huge facility in Canada. It's a Vancouver or whatever, up there somewhere in Canada. And in this giant facility, he's got a bunch of people working for him with very expensive red cameras, DSLR cameras. They got the crew. Everybody's there working in these facilities, in this big giant facility. That's where they do all their magic. That's where they film all the videos and edit everything. But they also have sponsors. So, those are the big dogs. This is what they do. That's their full-time. That's their career, basically. That is their career. That's their business. Me, I do this as a hobby. I do this as a hobby. There's a huge difference between me and all these other big YouTubers. They do it as a full-time. They do it as a full-time career. Tell about what is that? The Getter? I don't know. I didn't catch that. Are you talking about the Tom Clancy book that's behind me? That book right there? I don't know. What was that? I have no idea. Sorry, the messages are just flying by, man. I can't even. You guys have to type in those messages again because I just can't see. I'm trying to see. Oh, here we go. Motion smoothing is really amazing on my TV. Uh, I agree with expert Joey. Motion smoothing, it's not something I would use, but it's subjective. Listen, these filters, they're available. They're available on your televisions. Do I recommend using a soap opera effect, motion flow? Not really, because that's not what the film director intended. Okay, that's not what you're going to see when you go to a movie theater. You're not going to see a soap opera effect. So, hey, if you want to see a movie with a soap opera effect, you have that choice. But I wouldn't say that it's something that I would recommend because you're not, seeing the movie the way a film director intended. But hey, everybody's got their, shtick. Everyone has their own preference. If that's what you want, if you want to watch Top Gun in a motion flow, hey, enjoy it. Watch it in the motion flow. Watch it with the soap opera effect. You want to watch a Saving Private Ryan and a Black Hawk Down in motion flow, soap opera effect, dude, enjoy it. Watch it. But I would not recommend it. I would not like tell you to do that. Just like all those other filters that they have in in the TVs, like dynamic contrast. Sometimes I don't really. Uh, yeah, natural cinema for 24 frames per second. That's the way the movies are filmed. They were filmed at 24p, and that's the way you should watch it. When you Here's a good example. Uh, on my projector, BenQ HD 2550, I have the option to use. Oh, I'm sorry, on my home cinema 2150 Epson 3 LCD home cinema Epson. I have the ability to use a motion flow, and I did test one movie in particular. I was testing a Saving Private Ryan, Steven Spielberg 1998 movie, World War II drama. I was testing the D-Day invasion with the motion flow on 200-inch screen. And let me tell you, I had a headache. Dude, I had a migraine. I was about to throw up. I could not watch the movie like that. So, to me personally, I'm not a huge fan of motion flow. To me, motion flow, it's something that it's maybe used in sports if you're watching a football game or basketball game or NHL game, but for the movies, it just doesn't look that good because the movies were not filmed at that high frame rate. They're filmed at 24p, which is 24 frames per second, pretty much, is what you're getting. All right, that's the refresh rate, 24p. So that's what you want to be watching because you want to feel that you are watching a cinema. You know, this, you know that this is a live stream, that this is from a camera, a digital camera, so it looks like soap opera crap. But if you want to watch a movie, you want the movie to look in a cinematic format, in a silver screen cinematic format. So I would not use it. Thank you, Expert Joy. Appreciate it. I mean, it's just it's a common sense. It's a common sense, you know. You're welcome, Game Boy. Is it Gamer Boy or Gamer Boy? Gamer Boy. You're welcome, man. Not a problem. Um, so a lot of people have been asking me regarding the projectors, like why am I doing these projector videos? First and foremost, I'm not sponsored by Bow Making, Bowmaker. I'm sorry, I'm not sponsored by this company, Bowmaker. I'm not sponsored by Ape Man. I'm not sponsored by Vivi Bright. I'm not sponsored by uh, any of these companies from the projectors. It's just that I decided to use some of the money that I have to buy some of these projectors to test them out for you guys. I felt maybe it would be a good concept for me to find a really good, affordable projector. And in my opinion, I have found two. I have found two affordable projectors from a two different company. One by Bowmaker Parrot One, which is their entry level $250 projector that has 8,000 to 1 contrast ratio and a 6,000 lumens brightness light. And that's something I definitely want to try. I want to show you that you can have a cinematic experience with a 300-inch or 200-inch screen that can give you that brightness, that can give you that clarity for $250. And the great thing about this projector is it is using a LED light, LED lamp. It's a still LCD, 3 LCD, but it's using a LED lamp, and this LED lamp doesn't use too much power. It doesn't consume too much electricity, meaning therefore that this LED lamp that's inside this projector can last you longer. Many, 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 many more hours, 80,000 plus hours. And some people are saying you can exceed even more. So I felt me doing these videos on a projector can help some of you guys find a projector that it's within your budget. You know, I've seen other people out there do videos on these ridiculously expensive projectors, like laser projector from Sony, which is the cheapest one is like $6,000. The most expensive one is like $10,000. I don't want to promote something that it's super expensive, because that's not going to do you any good, right? You don't want to watch a video of something that you can't afford, right? Let me watch a video of Bugatti. Bugatti, what am I going to do watching a Bugatti video? Bugatti Chiron, like what am I going to do with that? I cannot afford that car. Cannot buy that car. I don't have a $250,000 on me right now to go buy that car. Okay, so what's the point of me watching a video on something I cannot afford? So what I try to do, I try to do a video on something that you guys can afford within your budget. Did I experience Samsung 8K? Yes, actually I did. When I was in Magnolia, actually this was in one of the Best Buys in Boca Raton, like one of those rich, wealthy Best Buys in West Boca Raton, which is a very wealthy area in South Florida. There was this Magnolia place, and my friend Lucky, whom I know, he got transferred over there. He's now head lead manager of that area of Magnolia in West Boca, and he showed me this 89-inch. I think it was 88 or 89. I think it was 88. 88-inch QLED Samsung 8K television. And let me tell you, man, there was this one scene. It was this this waterfall somewhere on the mountains. There was this footage of this waterfall, and this waterfall was coming down, and it was hitting the camera. It was all shot in 8K, and I swear to God, I felt as if I was under that waterfall. It was so beautiful, man. And I asked my friend Lucky, I said, do you think that everyone will have to buy 88-inch television to truly appreciate the 8K? And he said, of course. And he's right. Listen, he's right. I'm not saying that you're not going to appreciate 75-inch or 70-inch 8K television. I'm pretty sure you're going to experience sharper detail even with a 70-inch, but I think the 8K resolution, the 33 million pixels, will have the best effect if you have something that's 80-inch or higher. To truly appreciate 33 million pixels, you are going to need a 80-inch TV, honestly. To truly like say to yourself, okay, now I see what they're talking about. Now I see why I have to have an 80-inch 8K television. But I think 75 will give you a little bit of taste on what the 8K can do. 65 inches, Game Boy, 65 inches perfect for 4K. That's excellent for 8.3 million pixels. I think you're gonna experience. I remember with my KS8000, my 65-inch KS8000. That, let me tell you, I love that TV. I love that TV. It's probably one of my favorite TVs back in 2016. When I moved from Vizio M55C2 to a KS8000, let me tell you, I was just blown away. And the funny thing is, the person who recommended Samsung KS8000, it was the guy with whom I had some issues and problems in the beginning. We were going back and forth. What the hell was his name? I can't even remember some of these individuals' names. But we're cool now. Me and him were cool now. We don't have any problems. I haven't heard from him, but it was, well, he had a nickname. We used to call him Mr. VHS Ambassador. Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name now. Sorry, I can't remember your name. But anyway, he was the one who recommended to me to switch from a Vizio M55C2 to Samsung KS8000 65-inch in 2016. And once I made that decision, once I finally bought a Samsung KS8000, man, I gotta tell you, the Samsung KS8000, it was the best TV at the time. And I think it still is a great TV. Yes, I know it's edge-lit. Yes, I know it doesn't have the greatest viewing angles, but man, the contrast ratio on that one, the color accuracy at the time was really groundbreaking for Samsung. I think that was a huge step up for Samsung. That television in 2016, KS8000, was definitely, in my opinion, one of their best. Definitely one of their best televisions. Oh yeah, William Holgan. Yeah, the KS8000. Unfortunately, I gave my KS8000 to my brother as a gift. I gave it to him. He's got it now in his room. Well, it's in his bedroom for him and his wife. So I gave him that TV, and he's very pleased, very happy with that TV. And I think I gave my Vizio M55C to who the hell did I give my? Trying to remember. Dude, I'm telling you what, man, I'm losing it, bro. I'm getting an early Alzheimer's. I can't remember. I can't remember to whom I gave the Vizio M55C to. I'm trying to remember, but anyway, whoever has it, enjoy it. It's yours. So yeah, Samsung KS8000 in 2016, it blew me away, man. That TV, I've done so many videos on that TV. I fell in love with the Samsung, and that's why I was a bit skeptical about the OLED, because back in 2016, I was all about the peak brightness, the HDR, the peak brightness. And I was very skeptical about the OLED because I knew that the organic light emitting diodes they're not bright, they're dimmed. They're not bright. Back then, the B6, the C6, they were not really that bright. Let me tell you, the C6, even though it had a great 3D, the C6 and B6, they were not really that bright. Uh, but they did have a beautiful picture, obviously, and a great viewing angles and excellent contrast ratio due to the fact that it's OLED. But the one thing that was lacking with the OLED back then, with the B6 and the C6, was the fact that uh, they were not the brightest OLEDs. They were like very dimmed. Well, I don't want to say too dimmed, but you have to watch them in like a dark area. You couldn't watch that OLED like in a very bright area. Okay. And however, back in 2017, they came out with a C7. C7 has proved itself to be a little bit better, a little bit brighter. And I did have C7. I did test C7. Done a bunch of movies on a C7, and still it was good, but I felt that it was not that bright that it needed to be. You too. Good night, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Wilman. However, with the E8 and C8, the 8 series of OLED is where I've noticed that they gotten a bit brighter. Now, they're not, above 1000 nits. They're roughly about 850 nits, which is pretty good for an OLED, around there somewhere, 850. They can reach up to 900. Some people are measuring it depending on what content you watch. You can bump up to 900 nits, but they don't recommend that you really go up that high due to the fact that you might have a burn-in or retention. So, uh, but let's say around 850 nits. And right now, the current OLEDs are, in my opinion, uh, as bright as they can be. Right now, at the moment, I think the OLEDs of 8 series and 9 series are pretty good in terms of brightness. I think you're going to be very surprised when you see how much of peak brightness you can squeeze out of that OLED from 8 series and 9 series. Thank you, Superior Rhino, man. I appreciate it, man. I know you guys are watching me, man. I know, and I also know you guys are busy. You guys have your lives. You got to do things. So I can't expect every single one of you to see every single video that I make, because I do put out a bunch of videos. I do put out a bunch of content. Um, it's not intentional. People ask me, do you intentionally put a bunch of content? No, it's because there's something, either something I need to say about something, or there's something I need to talk about, or in this case, I have some products that I want to share with you guys. So therefore, uh, the videos pile up, as I put them up. What was your question, Game Boy? So what was your question, Game Boy? I don't know what's going on with the chat. Let me see. I'm surprised this iPad Air that I'm using, this iPad Air still works. But, oh, there it is. Is TCL better than Samsung, Sony, and LG? I'm thinking about buying a projector for gaming. Looks cool and fun. All right, that's some good questions there too. Let's answer the Game Boy question. Is TCL better than the Sony and the others? Uh, TCL can handle its own. They make their own panels directly from China. Everything they make, it's by them. They don't have to like hire somebody else to distribute or to design the TV for them. Everything is done by their own materials. Even their NBP photon technology, it's designed by them to reproduce a much wider spectrum of colors. So TCL can stand out to Vizio, I would say. Vizio and Hisense. I would say TCL can easily, and in many retrospects, it's beating Vizio due to the much more affordable pricing. You have to remember, Vizio is selling their televisions in a much higher price than what the TCL is selling it at. So to me personally, TCL with their mini LEDs and their 8K televisions they're coming out this summer, it's something that I don't see how Vizio is going to be able to compete with that. You know, so and Vizio, for those of you who don't know, it's stationed in California. Okay, so we got another question from, let me see, Proven Flawless. Why do you think Samsung removed local dimming in the game mode? I'm sorry, I didn't, that question, I missed it. All right, let me see. Why do I think Samsung removed local dimming in game mode on the QNFN with the latest firmware? I'm not sure, as a matter of fact, why they did that. I haven't updated to that latest firmware. I only had kept the one that was released last year, but I haven't used the latest one. I decided not to update any new firmware updates on my Q8FN. I left that turned off, so I'm not sure why they did that. You know, possible reason maybe they're trying to get a better, less tearing effect. Maybe they're trying to get a better performance in the frame rates. Who knows? But I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. They're probably trying to keep the constant performance on the frame rates, and they're trying to keep that constant performance with a FreeSync. Because remember, Q8FN, it's a FreeSync compatible television. Let me see. You guys got these questions just popping in right now. Hey, Mr4k, what's your favorite game of all time? My favorite game of all time? Oh, that's easy. That's Colonel. This is Snake. Can you hear me, Colonel? Oh, it has to be Metal Gear. Metal Gear, man. Tactical espionage action game. So yeah, Otacon. What's going on around here? So definitely Metal Gear. Metal Gear for sure. Yeah, man. That's where this whole voiceover thing started. It was David Hayter, and once I find out David Hayter was the one doing the voiceover, then I just started mimicking David Hayter, and you know. But I'm not the real David Hayter. Who is the real David Hayter? Where is the real David Hayter? So, yeah, Metal Gear, man. Metal Gear all the way. Right, Otacon. What else we got going on around here? Let's see. Mr4k, can OLED push out 120 hertz? Yes. Yes, it can. And now that we have a G-Sync available with HDMI 2.1, oh yeah. Oh yeah. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X will be able to push 120 hertz with a G-Sync. Oh, now you're gonna have two different types of televisions. OLED, LG has secured the G-Sync. Samsung has secured FreeSync. Isn't it funny? You got LG securing the NVIDIA partnership, and you got Samsung securing AMD partnership. It's always like that. Why can't they make it universal, right? I mean, listen, LG, when it comes to the OLED, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you truly want to enjoy what OLED has to offer, life is good. LG company, LG OLEDs are the best. They're packed with features. Not only are they packed with features that they support all of the HDR formats across the board, from HLG, Hyperlog Gamma, Dolby Vision, HDR10, Dolby Atmos, now the G Sync from NVIDIA, HDMI 2.1, which is the ultra high speed chipset. And on top of all of that, you are getting a really nice, beautiful user interface that it's super fast, super smooth, and that magic controller that it's so easy to use. And of course, a beautiful design of LG OLEDs. It's like top of its class. It's almost like buying a Tesla car or buying a Mercedes-Benz CLK class or something like that. So you know when you buy an LG OLED, you are getting your money's worth. You know you're not going to get some run down the mill uh, crappy television. You know you're getting a good quality. You're getting a really good quality. And I can tell you this because this is my fourth OLED. I've been through B6, C6, C7, and E8. Now I've been through, oh, of course, I forgot to mention E8, C8. Okay, so four different OLEDs. And now I'm stuck with the E8 because I love the design of the E8. So I can tell you, going through all of these OLEDs that I have, 4 generations of OLEDs, I can tell you that when it comes to LG, LG truly makes it really, you are happy that you gave them money because you know you're getting your money worth. Your money's worth when you pay for an LG OLED. You're gonna get a really good quality, man. And you're gonna see it when you put it on your home theater stand. When you bring it home, you know you got something really good. You know you got something that's truly state of the art, beautifully looking, and that it's designed with care and passion. That's LG OLED. Okay, so in my opinion, if you want to buy an OLED, B9, C9, you can't go wrong with those. And right now, currently, you can get a B9 for $1,400, 55 inch, and B9 is it's perfect time right now for anybody out there who's interested in jumping into the OLED. Right now is the time to jump in and buy yourself an OLED. B9, it's perfect solution for you right now. And once you bring that B9 home, I guarantee you, when you start playing that Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, that God of War, or Xbox, Forza Horizon 4, let me tell you, man, you're going to be blown away. Just how beautiful it looks. Everything will look beautiful on that OLED. 100%. Now, the question of burn-in and retention, it's something that you really have to know how to use that TV. You can't be too careless. You can't pause an image and leave it forever. There's certain precautions you can take to avoid that. The best thing to do, my advice would be to go to the eco setting, to the economic settings on your power management, and select a power usage of economic medium. So that way you're not blasting and emitting that 900 nits that's going to destroy and burn in your OLED diodes. So there's some tips you can use. There's some things you can do to avoid that, you know. But it's something you have to do a research on. There's plenty of tutorial videos on YouTube for you on how to avoid, on how to keep your OLED healthy and how to keep your OLED running smoothly. There's many different tutorial videos you can check out and see. And once you do that, once you finally understand how to run your OLED and how to keep your OLED healthy, you will have a much better longevity. You know, I mean, I've been using mine for a year now, 12 months, and haven't had any hiccups, haven't had any issues, and it seems to be running good. Well, of course, look, man, I totally understand why some people they feel fear of the burn-in, and that's because they don't want, obviously, they just spent $2,000 on a very expensive TV, or you just spend $3,000 on a very expensive TV. So the last thing you want to do is you want to have some sort of a retention or a burn-in on your television. So I definitely understand that point of view. People are afraid. They don't want to have that fear. But this is why you need to get a warranty. I always tell people, look, you're already spending $2,000. You're already buying something that's really good and expensive. So why not get a warranty on that TV? Why not keep that TV protected? You should always get a warranty on OLED, you know, just in case, just in case, you know, you have to. I mean, it's gonna suck. Let me tell you, it's gonna feel really bad. You're gonna feel really bad. You're gonna have a shitty day once you find out, oh God, I don't have any warranty on this TV. My kid just not jumped. Well, maybe your kid will jump on the TV, throw something on the TV. I don't know. You don't know, man. Kids these days, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. They would take a drink, throw a drink, or take a toy, throw the toy at the TV, or something, or whatever. Or they'll mess around with it, they'll unplug the TV. You don't know, man. Kids these days, they're like so, uh, they're like instigators. They like to investigate everything and touch everything. So it's a peace of mind to have in some insurance blanket policy where you don't have to worry about anything happening to your TV. All right, so what else we got going on here? No questions about Google Stadia, I see. No questions about Google Stadia. Oh man, a lot of people have been asking me when you're going to become a spokesperson for Google Stadia. I said, I'm not a spokesperson for anything, but I do defend Google Stadia. So go figure that one out. Uh, you know, it is what it is. I'm not a spokesperson for Google Stadia, but I do defend Google Stadia. Google is a company definitely worth being part of, for sure. You know, I didn't look too happy. Well, there was one video where I made a video about Google Stadia where I was criticizing Google Stadia. I was criticizing them for not having enough games. And of course, the one thing that's lacking right now with Google Stadia is the fact that we're not seeing many discounts. Like, why is Football Manager still $50? Why can't we cut it down to $29? Why is Assassin's Creed Odyssey $60? Why can't we cut it down to 29? Why isn't the guild part of the pro subscription? I mean, these are all legitimate criticisms that I have criticized Google Stadia. You know, they need to do a better job of communicating with Google Stadia members and Give them what they want. I mean, I don't understand why they're having a difficult time bringing some of these Android independent games from Android market or Jesus. I mean, look at the games that are available on Good Old Games. Look at the amount of games the CD Projekt Red service called GOG Good Old Games has on their platform. Why can't you bring some of those games to Google Stadia? Why can't you bring these indie developers from Steam? I mean, Jesus Christ, there's shitload of independent developers from all over the world. Why can't you bring some of them to Google Stadia? Put those games in there, man. Shove them in there. Fill them in. Fill all those games in. Shove it in there. You know, why you guys are having a difficult time? And I have criticized Google Stadia about that. Like, what's going on? But funny thing is, as soon as I criticized them, as soon as I uploaded the video, they made the announcement that they're going to include 120 games. As soon as I uploaded the video, and my video was premiering, all of a sudden they made an update on one of the Stadia discords. They said they're going to release 120 games, including 10 exclusive games, which one of them I already know about. It's like Zelda open sandbox type of an open world adventure game. Well, you know, you need stable internet for everything. You need stable internet for your console, your PlayStation console. You cannot play your PlayStation console without the internet. Well, do you know why? Because the PlayStation Network needs to know that you have purchased that game and that you didn't bootleg that game. So you have to be constantly connected to the PlayStation Network. Same thing goes with the Xbox. With the Xbox, you cannot play the games unless you're connected to the Xbox Live service. So you need the internet one way or the other. You have to be connected to the Steam in order for you to play the Steam games. Why? Because the Steam needs to know that is you who purchased those games. They need to acknowledge you. So I don't understand that argument. You know, people always use this argument, "Ooh, you need a stable internet." Dude, you need stable internet even for this live stream. I need a stable internet. That's without a question. You need a stable internet to do anything. To even Skype with somebody, you're gonna need a stable internet. So that to me that goes out the window right away, man. That argument, it's a very poor argument. Nah, come on. Internet has evolved. It's available. 5G is coming out. I mean, it's 2020. We're not living in 98, 99, 2000 dial-up. Are we in a dial-up era? Are we using a dial-up internet? I mean, come on, guys. I think we're past that. I think technology is evolving, man. I was recently talking to one of the AT&T technicians, and he says they're already building the towers, man. They're building the towers for the 5G. The 5G towers are getting are ready to go, man. AOL CDs. Oh my God. America Online. You've got mail. Oh Jesus. Remember, like when you want to download a picture, right? It goes like this. And then it stops halfway. All right, let's say you want to download a picture of some naked chick, right? And it keeps loading till it gets to the boobs. And once it gets to the boobs, it stops. I remember that shit. That was great, man. That was back in 98, 97. That was 97, 96, 97. Those were the good old days, man. Yeah, bro. 97, I used to in 97 I went to see Metallica in Madison Square Garden in New York. Yeah. Well, the microwave radiation, it's something that's all around us, guys. Radiation is everywhere. That's why there's so many sick people. Uh, we're not living a healthy life. Our food is processed, a lot of chemicals in it. That's why people have cancer, colon cancers, and other cancers. Cancers. Our air, it's not clean. That's why there's a lung cancer. A lot of people dying of pneumonia due to the not clean air. So you're exposed to all sorts of bacteria and cancers and whatnot. So the best way to live, I would say, would be to move away from the city, live in the forest, like British Columbia, Vancouver Island, upstate New York, somewhere out there in Adirondack area, uh, or Alberta, Canada, Colorado Springs, outside Colorado Springs, somewhere out there in the Rocky Mountains. Otherwise, in the city, you're exposed to all of that stuff, you know. So I'm not shocked that there's a lot of people diagnosed with all kind of illness and diseases and cancer. If you look at the way the food's being processed, if you look at the way even our water's being processed and filtered in the plastic bottle, uh, guys, you have no idea what it means to drink a fresh water from a mountain. When you are, let me tell you something. When you are drinking that fresh mountain water, and when you are inhaling that mountain fresh air, oxygen, you don't know what it's like to live a life unless you actually try that. City life is just, it's parasitic, in my opinion. Lucky you, JT. Hey, JT, how you doing? Lucky you, brother. Living away from a land, from the city is the best, man. I have a friend well, I have a lot of friends who live in Bosnia, and they live outside Visoko. There's this place called the Visoko, which is just north of Sarajevo, and they live up on the mountains, not far from that pyramid of the sun that's out there, and they love it, man. They love it. They love living there. It's just they feel great. They feel energy. They sleep well. They eat well. They feel great. They feel healthy. They're in the right state of mind. When you feel good positive vibe of energy, then you are in a really good state of mind, and everything feels good, you know. And the reason we have all this crap going on is because the city, it's polluted with all kinds of negativity, man, with all kinds of negative vibes. Not to mention, which I mentioned earlier, the processed food. You don't know where that shit comes from. Uh, and then you got this filtered water. You don't know where that comes from. And then, for the love of God, don't even get me started with pharmaceuticals. Don't even get me started with the big pharma. That's something for a totally different subject. That I could write books about that one. I could write the best novel sellers for that crap. That's on. That's the worst. And everybody's hooked on some type of narcotics. You know, you need the painkillers for this. You need the painkillers for that. You need this type of painkillers for this for that. It's always some kind of painkillers you need. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Wada. I'm sorry I didn't see your question. Sorry about that. Joker was okay. Can I don't want to spoil the movie, but well, I'm not going to spoil it. But Joker, here's the thing. Joker, it's a heavy movie. It's a heavy movie to process. It's a very heavy movie. It's a very uneasy movie to process. Because what you're watching is you're witnessing a someone who has a good heart and was born, everybody's born with a good heart, okay? No one's born evil. I don't believe in that shit. People can kiss my ass. I don't believe in that you're born evil. That's a bunch of shit. I think everyone is born with a good heart. The problem is this: slowly but surely, depending on your life track, depending on what type of life you are living and what type of decisions that have been made for you in your life, that can easily manifest and transform you into something else. And I think the one significant portrayal of Joker is how Arthur wanted to be a comedian, wanted to be accepted by society. He always felt that he was kind of outcast by society. He felt that he was never seen. He felt that he was never noticed. He felt that he was never taken seriously. And therefore, that led him to transform into what he has transformed. And now that he's a Joker, well, guess what? Now he got all the attention he needs. So it's a difficult movie to watch, but I think it's a necessary movie to see. You know, it's a very psychological film. So I definitely understand why you maybe didn't like it. It's not an easy movie to watch. I would watch it maybe two or three times to kind of connect the dots. That's what I would do. You know, because the movie deals with a lot of mental issues, you know, a lot of psychological issues. You know what I mean? My favorite technology of folding the smartphone, uh, none, zero. I'm not a huge fan of folding phones. Sorry. I'm just not a fan of folding phones. I never was. Sorry, guys. I not a fan of that. Last of Us 2 is definitely coming for sure. And hopefully it won't be delayed till September, right? Let's hope. I was a bit surprised that the Cyberpunk got delayed all the way till September. I was like, oh my god. You know what? If they Here's the thing. I tell you what. If they're going to delay, which they are, Cyberpunk to September 28th, you know what, man? Why don't you just release it on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X? Why not release it in November? Just make it a upgraded version for play. You know what it is? Guys, here's the reason why. I figured it out. The reason, guys, the reason Cyberpunk it's being delayed, it's because of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Mark my words. They're working really hard to modify a PlayStation 5 version and the Xbox Series X version. And also, they're working probably really hard to modify a Stadia version as well. So they're working on three different versions, not to mention the PC version, which is the fourth version. Will I ever do a micro LED versus OLED? Well, if I ever get around to it, you know, I mean, micro LED won't be released till 2024, possibly 2025, and then I have to look at the price, what the pricing is. So it's going to be a long time. God forbid something happens to me if I'm not around. You know, you don't know. 5 years is a long time. A lot of things can happen 5 years from now. Um, hopefully nothing happens and we're all alive and well. But again, that's out of my control. But sure, if I get around to it and I got some money laying around, sure, why not? I would love to try out micro LEDs because I'm a sucker for new technology, man. I love the new technology. I'm a sucker for Dolby 3D cinema. I want to experience Dolby 3D cinema with the new James Cameron film Avatar that's coming out, the sequel to the Avatar. Can't wait to see that. I want to experience that in a Dolby 3D cinema. This is without glasses. You're not wearing any glasses. No more glasses. It's just your two eyes looking at the 3D. So I can't wait for that. And I think that's the real 3D. That's what people want. They don't want to wear any stupid glasses. They want to experience stuff without wearing any stupid visors or helmets or whatnot. People want to experience 3D without any wearables. Like they don't want to wear anything. They just want to be able to see glasses free, visors free, to see that 3D. I think I missed some questions over here. Hold on. Let's see what we got. Have you set aside 3 days or watched The Irishman? Yes, Expert Joey. That movie is still, it's in my head, dude, for some stupid reason. The Irishman, the whole Jimmy Hoffa thing. And, there's a lot of controversy about that movie. Some people are saying the way Jimmy Hoffa was killed was not the way it happened in the movie. Now, I don't want to spoil the movie for those of you who didn't see it, okay? But some very reliable individuals are saying that's not the way it happened. And one guy who is, well, he's like the last mobster from 1980s. He wasn't like, how would I say this? He was known in mafia, he worked with Gambino family a little bit, but he was part of a Colombo family. I'm talking about Michael Francis. Michael Francis, he said, I don't know if you guys know who Michael Francis is. Look him up and you'll find out who Michael Francis is. Michael Francis says himself, he said he knows from a very reliable source that the way Jimmy Hoffa was whacked, it's not the way it happened in the movie. So he's saying what you see in the movie, it's not the way it happened. He's saying from a reliable source that he knows, Jimmy Hoffa, it's somewhere in a really wet place. What does that mean? I don't know, but that's what Michael Francis says. He said he knows from a very reliable source that Jimmy Hoffa's body, it's somewhere in really wet place. What does that mean? Is he in a blender? Is he at the bottom of the ocean? Which ocean? Is he somewhere in the sea? What sea? We don't know. So take what you want from that, but that's what Michael Francis said. Do I hide my HUD or logo when I play in the OLED? No. As a matter of fact, I watch ESPN, I watch Fox Sports, I watch FS1, I watch the UFC fights on the FS2. So I constantly have logos on my OLED. So History Channel with the Ancient Aliens, there's constantly a logo there. So yeah, never had any issues with retention, possible retention on the screen. Nothing. There was nothing that I have experienced where an image would be retained on that same corner, you know. I mean, really, guys. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. You know, I don't know what to say, but I really have no reason to lie. I've showed you my OLED. The expert Joey knows how long I have my OLED. He knows that I have no reason to lie. I've never had any retention, never had any burn in. I mean, if there was, believe me, you would know about it. I would tell you, but I never had any issues. You know, am I a Star Wars fan? Oh yeah, dude, a big time Star Wars fan. That's something I grew up with in the 70s, in the 80s. You know, watching Star Wars, watching the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm really a Spielberg era, dude. That was like Lucas and Spielberg era. The 80s, the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, early 80s was really Spielberg, you know. Spielberg movies, Lucas movies, Indiana Jones, Star Wars. So yeah, man, Star Wars, it's a phenomena. I mean, you can't go anywhere on this planet without bumping into somebody who doesn't know about Star Wars. You can even go, even the cannibals in Amazon who eat other people will tell you, yes, we know about Star Wars. Yes, Skywalker. Even they will tell you they know about it. Star Wars, it's a worldwide phenomenon. That's like unbelievable, man. You know, it's just ridiculously huge franchise. And I don't know, some people are saying that the Kathleen Kennedy screwed it up with J.J. Abrams. Um, yes and no. I think they screwed up on the killing a Harrison Ford character, uh, Han Solo. Han Solo. They shouldn't have killed Han Solo. I thought Harrison Ford could have done a couple more movies. Um, it would have been great to see Han Solo and what's his name? God, the other actor, Mark Hamill, to see him together with Harrison Ford. It would have been better. I think it was a bad idea to kill the character, you know, in my opinion, you know. And they made Luke, they made him look like a drunken, deadbeat, grumpy, negative, depressing. That's not the Luke's, you know, Luke Skywalker. That's not the Luke we remember. That's not the Luke we remember. That's not the Jedi that we remember. You know, that's not the Luke we know and remember. So, in my opinion, I think they screwed up on the script. They rushed it. Let's just say they screwed it up. Okay, Disney screwed up the Star Wars. It was probably the worst decision that George Lucas ever made was to give his baby to Disney. And I love Disney, but I have to agree they did screw it up, man. Let's see what else we got here. What other questions? You guys got some good questions popping in. Luke Hobo Skywalker, yeah, there you go. It's funny. I was getting some. Somebody asked me the other day. Somebody hit me up on my Discord. I haven't been to my Discord in a while, and somebody asked me about the question about the Sasquatch. I said, "When did you have this encounter, and when did this happen?" And da 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 da. I said, "It's all explained on my video." You know, I said, "Are you sure that you saw a Sasquatch?" I said, "Listen, I was in my junior high. This was back in Lake Placid High School, my junior high, back in '96. We were going on this expedition, hiking expedition, with two different groups. We were going up to this mountain called Mount Hurricane, which is in between Saranac Lake and Lake Placid in the Adirondack area in upstate New York. It was in November. Okay, I was up there hiking with. We were split into two different groups, and I had to take a piss. Right, I had to take a piss really, really bad because I was drinking a lot of liquid before we went on to the trip. So I told everybody, listen, I gotta go because there were some girls there too. I couldn't just take a piss right in front, so I had to go down this riverbank in a leak. But I have to remember, I was very young. I was like 17 years old. Okay, I didn't know nothing about a Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I didn't know nothing about that shit. Okay, so uh, I went to take a piss, and I see something moving, like this brownish reddish. Looks like a bison. I thought it was a bison. Seriously, all things were going through my mind. Is this a bison? Is this like a moose? Is this a grizzly bear? I know there's no grizzly bears here. It's just the black bears. What the fuck? What is this thing? And all I remember is this. You have to remember something. This all happened very quickly, very fast, like spontaneously, very quickly, very fast. I don't think that creature knew I was there. It all happened so quickly, so fast. This thing just got on his 2 feet, gigantic, hairy back with his huge arms, quickly turned around, looked at me with these red eyes, orange red eyes, and it just sprinted so fast down that riverbank, across the river, up to the hill, and disappeared. I was having a fucking heart attack. I was in a panic fucking attack mode. I thought my heart was gonna fucking jump out of my fucking chest. I didn't know what the fuck to think. I was in a state of shock. And that's what I saw when I was 17. Now that I'm 41, after done all this research, after looking into it, do I believe these creatures exist? Yes, I believe they exist. I don't care if people believe me or don't believe me. It doesn't really matter to me. I know what I saw. I know what I experienced on the Mount Hurricane in upstate New York, and that's that. All right, so what other questions you guys have? Somebody asked me about that on my Discord. Somebody asked me briefly about that stuff. Which one of the TV you prefer gaming, Samsung Q8FN or LG C8? Both. I like both. But I have to say this. Q8FN really gives that nice, smooth performance. Nice, smooth performance of the gaming. And when you are playing on a Q8FN, it's hard to describe. It's just more fluid. The game processing mode on QLED, Q8FN, is just better, guys. It's just better. It's just smoother. It's just, how do I say this? It's better. Now, that's not to say that you can experience great gaming on the OLED. Yes, now with a G-Sync and much better processing chip, of course, you're going to have a nice lower latency, lower input lag. So sure, it's going to look smooth. But there's something about the QLED that it's really just designed perfectly for gaming, man. I think the Q8 and Q9 are really intended for gaming, dude, for consoles. Big time. See what else we got going on. This is a sci-fi portion of the vlog. Yeah, definitely is sci-fi portion of the vlog. Unfortunately, I wish that it was a sci-fi, but there's things that I have seen. There's things that I have experienced. I cannot explain. Some of us are fortunate enough to experience those things, and some of us are not fortunate enough to experience those things. You know what? There's going to be a huge percentage of people. They're going to live their entire life and they're never going to experience any of these things. But there's other portion of the people out there who are actually going to experience these things. And once you experience something, once you've seen something, your perspective about everything changes. Your perspective about going into the woods, camping into the woods, it changes. Now, in the back of your mind, you always know something is watching you. Something is watching you. If it's not a bear, if it's not a wolf, if it's not a mountain lion, it's definitely something else that is watching you. And what's the best place for you to be taken away, for you to be abducted? Well, in the middle of nowhere. This is why I tell people, don't go hiking in the middle of freaking nowhere. People say, oh, I want to go to Vancouver Island. I want to go to the Vancouver Island, Canada, Pacific Northwest Canada. I said, dude, why? Why do you want to go to Vancouver Island? There are reports of missing people there, all right, and they're never found. Why would you do that? There's something unexplained happening there. We don't know what it is, but why would you go there? Go there with experts who are trackers, who know the terrain, who know the area. Go with someone with the expertise. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to be this macho man going in there by yourself. Okay, there's some things that we cannot comprehend. Okay, there's places on this planet we cannot comprehend. There's places on this planet we cannot reach due to the nature of just how harsh the environment is. And one of the places is Antarctica. You look at the Antarctica, the driest place on the planet, the coldest place on the planet, 120 below zero. Sometimes there's places on Antarctica that goes 120 below zero with a 40-mile-an-hour wind. Think about that. 40 miles per hour wind with 120 below zero. Think about that shit. So we can go there, and we don't know what's down there. There's a lot of unexplained and unexplored places on this planet. So we can't know everything. It's impossible for us to know everything. But for us to think that we have discovered everything on this planet and that we know everything on this planet, it's childish, because it's not true. We haven't discovered everything. There's so much we don't know. And if we do know about something, it's being kept secret for whatever reason, all right? And don't get me started about the aliens, the whole thing about the aliens. I mean, come on, man. Look up in the sky. What is that? What is that? Infinite of 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 beyond of infinite. There's no end to it. What the hell is that? We don't know what that is. We can't explain that, why it's there. So I don't need anybody to tell me what's possible, what's not possible, what exists, what doesn't exist. Let's not have double standards. Let's just be open-minded that there's shit out there we can't explain. Telepathy, it's something called the third eye that we know exists. That telepathically you can influence certain people to do certain things. It's been proven with the MK Ultra program. It's been proven with a lot of different things. There's stuff out there, guys, that exists, but some people are not comfortable knowing that exists. Some people like living, like in that movie, The Village. Remember that movie, The Village? M. Night Shyamalan? Don't go out in the forest. We stay in our village. We never go out in the forest. That's forbidden. This is our area here. We just live here. There's people who don't want to know other stuff that's going on. There's people who just want to live their life in their cocoons, do their daily, routines, and just live life. And that's fine too. But I don't need anybody to tell me what's possible and what's not possible. All right, let's see. We went off the track here a little bit. It's really sad to think I'm 34 and I haven't been to another country. I love to travel. You should definitely do. You should definitely. Hold on. I need to. This iPad Air is really something. Grab a random book off the shelf and read the title, Mr4k Upskiller. Yes. You see this one over here? That's the one I read, the Tom Clancy. Believe it or not, I'm more into like a Tom Clancy stuff. He passed away like a few years back. Tom Clancy is really good, man. Tom Clancy, if anybody knows everything, if anybody knows anything, it was that guy, Tom Clancy. But unfortunately, whatever he knew, he took it to the grave, okay? Because he passed away. You should definitely travel, man. And if you can, I know traveling can be expensive, obviously, but you should definitely travel to another country. You'd be surprised, man. You're going to meet people and you're going to say to yourself, why was I stuck here? Why didn't I live there or go there? The worst thing you can do in your life is be stuck with negative people. It's be stuck with people who make you feel low energy, who make you feel terrible, people who drain the energy out of you. Those are the vampires. I call them the vampires of energy because they suck the energy out of you. So never allow yourself to be surrounded by negative people or people who just don't have anything positive that will benefit you. You don't want to be around those kind of negative people, man. And I've seen people be around negative people all the time. And then they become negative, and then they start thinking negative, and then they meet some more negative people, and they all start having a one big negative club where they're all socializing with each other and being negative nannies. Let's see what else we got. You guys are just pumping out these questions. Thank you, JT. It's good to explore. It's good to keep an open mind, guys. I've been through a lot of places, man. I've been in Bosnia, I've been to Slovenia, I've been to Montenegro, I've been to Italy, I've been to Austria, Switzerland, I've been to Hamburg, Germany, I've been to Netherlands, Holland, Red District. Yes, I've been to Red District back in what the hell was it, '95. I've been to Holland, Red District. A lot of bicycles and a lot of bridges and a lot of rivers in a circle. That's Amsterdam. That's Amsterdam for you. A lot of bicycles in Amsterdam, believe me or not. A lot of bicycles in Amsterdam. And I've been to, what else I've been to? I've been to Canada, been to Montreal, been all over New York, upstate New York, Albany, Utica, Buffalo, near West Point. I've been there as well. Been to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. I've been to North Carolina, Asheville, northern western Carolinas, Asheville. Been to Western Virginia. Been to California. Been to City of Industry, California. Been to Bay Area. Been to Seattle, Olympia, which is capital of Washington State. Been to Olympia. Been to Vancouver Island. It's beautiful out there. And of course, all over Florida. I've been in Florida as well. So I can tell you one thing. Traveling around the world, being to different places, I can tell you one thing, and that is that there is no perfect place. You're never gonna find a perfect place, but every place it's unique in its own ways. Okay, I want to tell people this because a lot of people have this idea that if I move to this town or if I move to this place, that all of a sudden all my troubles will go away everything will blossom, everything will be perfect. No, uh, there is no perfect place. What you are going to find is different experiences by visiting different places. You're gonna meet in every place. You're gonna meet good people, bad people, shady people. They're always there. No matter where you go, you're always gonna have that. But every place brings a unique experience, and you learn. Life is a it's a boot camp of experience. Really, it's a one adventure of experience. I think we're all here just to experience this whole thing. I know, JT, because you have that business, right? So you do travel a lot. You do a lot of traveling, JT. And I know you're busy, man. I know how busy you are with your job and stuff that you do, man. You're like super super busy. I know that. And I appreciate you, JT, stopping by, just like I appreciate Expert Joey. I know he's busy too whenever he gets a chance to join in. I know you guys have lives, obviously, and you're busy, you got things to do. But I always appreciate uh, Mackenzie. I do all sorts of different things, but I cannot talk about it, because I like to keep it private. But it's not what you heard, it's not what you think, it's not what's being said out there about me. There's a lot of misinformation. People saying I work in a hotel or some shit. No, I do a lot of travel. I do go, cross country, have some meetings. I do different jobs, but I cannot talk about them. And I cannot tell you what it is. You know, it's just something that I have to keep private. But my hobbies, obviously, as you guys know, my hobbies are basically the technology, the video games, the new tech, the new evolution of technology, whether it be virtual reality or the new televisions. I just like to share my unbiased views on the products, you know. And I think that's the one thing that's missing in today's YouTube community is no one is willing to give their unbiased points of view. Everybody has to somehow, one way or the other, justify their purchase. And I see a lot of that on YouTube. Everyone has to justify their purchase, or if they're not justifying their purchase, they have to say a good thing about a product because they have a sponsor and they want to make sponsor happy. Me, I don't do that. I don't justify anything. When it comes to Google Stadia, I'm not justifying Google Stadia. I cover both the positives and negatives of Google Stadia, but I also said that Google Stadia works. I was debunking all the false misinformation about Google Stadia where people were saying it doesn't support 4K, it doesn't support HDR, it doesn't support HDR slider, it doesn't work, da 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 da. So I was basically uh, debunking all of that stuff, you know. But I also talked about the negatives of Google Stadia. I clearly said that I'm against uh, them not having any games or having any discounts or not being outspoken about the future plans. I've spoken about that stuff. I criticize Google Stadia. I have. Clearly, I criticize them. When the criticism is due, I criticize it. And when the criticism is due on me, I welcome that criticism. But it has to be legitimate criticism. It has to be something that you can prove to me that you have legitimate criticism of me or whatever that might be. You know, uh, and I'm open for criticism if it's legit, if it's legitimate criticism. But I'm not going to bend over and accept something that is not true. You know. Let me see what else we got here. Honestly, Mr4k, I feel bad that I haven't been active as much on YouTube. Works just crazy at the minute. But when I do, You gotta go to your company, not a problem, JT. I totally understand that. No, that's okay. Listen, man, guys, I totally understand. Uh, Life is hard. You're busy. You got things you have to take care of. There's millions of things you have to worry about. Paying your bills, doing this, doing that. Dealing with your relationships, your family, other issues, financial issues, job issues. There's all kinds of issues that you have to deal with. Okay, so I totally understand if you guys are not being active on my YouTube channel. That's totally understandable. I totally get that. I totally understand that. 100%. You know, and sometimes I know I haven't done those in a while. I like to do these once in a while. Uh, do the vlog so we can have a chat. We can talk about things, and I can answer you some questions better this way. Related to games, movies, to technology, TVs, and consoles. Yeah, I mean anything that's related to movies, uh, technology, consoles. I'm more than happy to talk about that. And also I'm open to talk about some other stuff. Like I said, I mentioned the Sasquatch, upright bipedal walking, hominid, but look, that's a subject, that's a touchy subject for some people. We're talking about a Sasquatch, talking about the aliens, that's a touchy subject for some people. Some people don't like that. It makes them feel uncomfortable, so I get that. I mean, I totally understand that. And I don't like talking about stuff that's uncomfortable. But the only reason I bring that up, it's because this is something that I actually have experienced, and I cannot erase what I have seen. That's something that's embedded to my memory, and since I was 17 years old, I kept that secret. I couldn't tell anybody because I knew if I tell people what I saw, they're gonna laugh at me. They're gonna make fun of me. They're gonna say, "Okay, this guy is cuckoo. Needs to be put in a straitjacket or something." So I knew I could not talk about it. 3:31 a.m. here. Time to go to sleep. Take care. All right, Expert Joey. I'm gonna head out pretty soon too. I'm gonna be out of here. It's been almost 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours, man. You see, it just flew by, man. It just went by. It flew by. The conversation just went by really fast. Um, so if you guys have any more questions before I finish this, I think now's the time. So I'm gonna give you guys maybe a few more minutes, ask a couple more questions before we officially close it. I can't believe it's been almost 2 hours. That's crazy. Oh yeah, like I said earlier, when I come back tomorrow in the afternoon, I'm gonna try to do the unboxing of that projector, talk about that projector. Thank you. So yeah, tomorrow when I come back, uh, and hopefully I'll have that package delivered to me. When I come back tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna unbox it. I'm gonna do some video tests on that projector, and I'm talking about this company called Bowmaker Parrot One. I know it's a kind of funny name, but that's the name of the model, Bowmaker Parrot One, and it has 8,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and it has a 6,000 lumens brightness. That's got to be the brightest projector, and it's only $250. You can get it with a discount for like 220, 230, and I think that projector, it's something you guys might be interested in, to get something that's affordable for $250 with a discount 230, something that's affordable, but at the same time it's a also good value for cinema experience, you know. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow when I get back. I'll do that video. I also got another projector called the Ape Man, and I don't know if I'll have time for anything else other than in those two videos, because you know, I don't think I'll be able to do a live stream tomorrow. Maybe a vlog if I can, but mainly just those two videos I'll be able to do with a projector, two projectors, and I'll pump those videos tomorrow. I'll put them on for you guys to check it out and see. All right, guys. Well, that's it. It's been a lot of fun. You know, it's been awesome couple of hours. You guys ask pretty good questions. You too, JT, Daryl. Thank you. David McKenzie. I know. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. No, not Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Peace. See you later. Thank you, Elite. Thank you, guys. Thank you for stopping by. And as always, it's been a pleasure. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow when I come back. Take care. Have a good one, though. And stay safe. Be good. Take care.